Hello, hello, hello. My name is Patray. This is our Thursday night live convo. I am waiting on my guest Adrian to tap in. How is everybody doing? I see Adrian trying to get in there. As we wait on Adrian to get in, I see her moving. I see her moving. um, Make sure to post your questions in the comment sections. I'm always looking at the comment sections. And what Adrian's going to talk a little bit about tonight is holiday stress, holiday anxiety, all that kind of not so good stuff. Um, I'll try my best to go back and forth from questions, back and forth from the comment section. And yeah, the minute she pops in, we're going to go ahead and get started. Make sure you guys share the live from the beautiful black girl page, the live page. You can only really share it from the live page. You can't share it from the group. If you're watching from the group, you can't do it from the group. You have to watch it from Beautiful Black Girl Live. I want to make sure Adrian isn't hitting some kind of technical difficulty. Girl, let me tell you
Tell the
something.
Lord, thank you. Tell him
This
thank
is the
you.
work. This ain't nothing but the work of the enemy. The work of the enemy. I'm like, now see him? Now see him?
Woo-wee. Indeed, indeed.
Child done made me break a sweat. Cause I had just
And then
said, I
I
said,
had to end up I had to end up coming in another way. But anyway, like just waiting on you. So yeah.
better late than never because
Right, right,
girl, this was
exactly.
this was stressing me out. How are you doing, ma'am? How are you? How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Just happy to be here.
Look, I'm glad you're here. First of all, thank you so much for doing this with me, for agreeing to do this with me. I say this during every show, like you know what? I have to stop saying that I don't have a good circle because I thank God for y'all. I really do. Because all kind of ideas and thoughts pop into this Gemini ADHD brain that I have, and y'all go along with it. I have yet to have somebody tell me no. I have people reach out to me. I thank God for y'all. I really do. Um, I do. I can't
Well,
stress
you
that enough.
absolutely welcome. And
Thank you.
I,
Thank
I
you.
and I'm thankful that you thought enough of me to ask me to come on. So I'm, that I appreciate you for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna jump right in. Now that I have my guest here tonight, okay. Oh, let me back up. I am Portray. I am the owner, founder of Beautiful Black Girl. There is now a Beautiful Black Girl group, and there is a Beautiful Black Girl live where you will have to go now to watch all of the live streams. Tonight we are talking about, well, it's a mental health matter. So we're talking about holiday stress, anxiety, all this kind of good, not so good stuff. Let me say it that way.
Right,
That happens
right.
around this time of year. I'm gonna let Adrian introduce herself because I don't want to mess up nobody's title. I don't want to mess up nobody's title. Adrian, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Okay, well, I'm just Adrian. I'm just Adrian. I don't really get into a whole lot of titles. Um, I just do what I do, but for the people that need to know, credential wise, I am a licensed professional counselor. So what I do is psychotherapy. Basically it's counseling, talk therapy, and then I like to do creative counseling because I feel like everybody don't respond to talk therapy. So art therapy, music, mindfulness, dance, all of that kind of stuff, I incorporate that in my practice. Yeah, pretty much for the most part. So I'm licensed in South Carolina and in Georgia, but soon we'll be able to practice in pretty much all the states because they have something called the Counseling Compact.
Hmm.
So we can reach more people because people need mental health services more and more because everything is cray cray right now. But I've been doing this since 2008. Been licensed since 2013 and in private practice since 2015.
Okay, so look, you are not new to this. You are true to this. You've been in the game
Right.
for a minute.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes,
Been doing
yes.
this for a minute. Doing it for a minute.
I get it. I get it. Look, I want to dive right in. I try to keep our talks at 30 minutes, but every time I
Okay.
get somebody on here, somebody always brings me some gems, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna run over. But the first thing, anytime I invite somebody, I always try to dive into what it is and how. I'm gonna be a little honest. I'm a little selfish. I always look at how it affects me. Like
Okay. No,
when I
that's a
have
good thing.
when I have someone here that speaks about physical health, I'm like, hold up, am I physically healthy? Like, am I okay?
Right.
And in preparing to speak with you tonight, I thought about holiday stress and anxiety, which I'm gonna be very transparent. I'm somebody that suffers from anxiety, and I have for quite some time. It don't even have to be holiday. I just have issues with anxiety. But how can you really tell the difference between just being busy and um being like emotionally overstimulated and what might possibly be just true anxiety? What is kind of somewhat normal everyday living, and which one would kind of be like, okay, this might be a red flag, might be an issue?
Okay, well, you said what is the difference between normal everyday
Yeah, like just
living
yeah.
and then anxiety at its truest form, correct?
Yes.
So I think with normal everyday living, everybody is going. experience a certain amount or certain level of stress. And stress is just when we put ourselves in a position where um what we want to do and what we can't do kind of meets up, and it's like it's not possible. So our bodies let us know. It's like, you want to do this particular thing, but physically, mentally, emotionally, you probably shouldn't be. Right? It's just too
Mhm.
much. It's like an overload. Because anytime you get an overload, your body lets you know. Okay. So, we all gonna have, you got to go to work, you got to come home, you got to clean up, whatever. But when it starts to become an issue that you're unable to complete things, like you're not able to function totally well, I won't even say at 100%, but if you feel like, you can tell, like you might get physical symptoms, you might have like heart palpitations that you can't even do anything about. I don't care what you do. Like it's just gotten to a point where it's an overload. It's like uncontrollable. You can't, because with regular stress or regular stressful things, we can kind of turn it on and off.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, I'm tired, so I'm not gonna do this, or this is too much, so I'm just gonna shut it down for the night. But with anxiety, it's like your brain won't turn it off. You can't control it yourself. And it feels like it's way out of control. Like with not within reach.
Got you. I got.
It's something you can't manage anymore. I say it
Okay.
like that,
I'm
like by yourself.
I'm listening to what you're saying, and look, as you know, I'm an educator. I worked in education for quite some time, and
Okay.
this is the way we describe students with disabilities a lot of times.
Okay.
Somebody might have a disability, but it may not have an impact on the way they perform. For example, just because someone has an autism diagnosis doesn't mean they can't go to every other classroom and perform and do just anything else that any general education student might be able to do. It just
Correct.
this diagnosis doesn't keep them from that. So in this aspect of mental health, um, the anxiety around everyday living, okay, I got that, but it becomes an issue when it has elevated to the point that where it is true. What's the word you used? You used
Did I say
um
unmanageable or out of
when it
control?
becomes unmanageable, that's
Hmm.
when it's an issue. Correct?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right. Because I mean, and it's like really, I say like uncertain, like, and then you're gonna have like it feel you feel threatened at some point, because you just feel like, it's like in excess. It's like I can't handle it, and then that's when the physical symptoms start, you know taking over. But I would say when you're unsure of what the outcome is going to be because you can't control it anymore.
I'm gonna say this, Adrian. I feel like you have used a lot of hot words in your description. And I say hot because for me, those are signs to look for. Like when it is physical, when it is overwhelming, when it is out of touch, when it is out of my grasp, when it is the time to get help. So you used a lot of words that help to make it identifiable, because a lot of people wouldn't be able to identify it without those same words.
Right.
Um, is the okay, we were kind of narrowing in with this one with holiday stress. Is
Hmm.
holiday stress normal? Is it just a normal thing, or is it something or could it possibly be like a sign that there's something deeper?
Anything could be a sign like there's something deeper, but when it starts to become there again, like the anxiety, when it's out of control or you're unable to manage it. But holiday stress, it is very real, and it's very normal because I mean just certain things just are gonna make you stressed, and it's supposed to.
Mhm.
That's a valid emotion, a valid feeling. But holiday stress, sometimes the issue is we put ourselves in positions
Yeah.
that we don't have to be in. So that stress can be manageable. However, if you just continue, like, say for instance, Christmas is just one day. One day. I love Christmas, one of my favorite holidays. However, I've learned, like, do I have to buy all the toys? Do I have to attend all the functions? Do I have to? run out and be in the middle of the crowd, and all of that's just too much. You know, people pulling on this, pulling on it. Why didn't you go like early this morning before the store got crowded? Why didn't you start early if you knew you had a list that long? Right?
Yeah.
Like that. So we have to sit back and basically create a plan for ourselves and say, what am I gonna allow to make me stressful this holiday season? So a lot of things we contribute, but holidays are stressful, period. But we have, if it's not a major issue, like an anxiety issue or anxiety disorder or some type of past trauma,
Mhm.
because sometimes people have things that happen to them in the past. It could be the death of a loved one. It could be something happened around Christmas time that, they lost their job, and then every Christmas they get nervous. Just little things like that, where it's kind of
Yeah.
like a acute PTSD kind of situation where, it just pops back up and it feels real all over again. So those
Um,
things you can't really control because it just takes over you. But simple things like, you know, am I gonna buy these kids $1,000 worth of toys, and before the end of the day, you see a wheel off of one truck over there across the yard, and the little baby doll leg broke off in a trash can.
the baby doll. Now, one thing you just said, now you're so, I thank God I don't have any little kids like that no more, but you're so
Right,
right about that. Now, you shared with me, and I got permission from Adrian to also share this resource in the group, so I'll be sharing that in the group
right.
after the live. But tell us a little bit about the resource that you shared with me and how it helps you and even your clients kind of maintain all of these steps. I can't even break down one or two because she had a whole list.
Right. So
So how does this help you?
I'll share a few of them, and then when you share in the group, they can pretty much go through it. But
Hmm.
my clients that are stressing and pretty much they already got enough other stuff going on to for them not to allow Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, whatever the case. Even people have birthdays and anniversaries all mixed up in there too. So for them to be able to manage, because that's what we have to do, because things are gonna happen. But it's all about how we navigate and how we manage things that happen to us. Because
Hmm.
they're gonna happen.
Yeah.
They're gonna happen. So with this resource, it's called a personal holiday care plan. And it's like moving through the holiday with intention. Okay. Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna remain peaceful, like keep balance, that kind of stuff? Um, or how am I gonna commit to being well and less stress during the holiday season? So it makes you tap into that. And then my emotional check-in plan. So we have to check in with ourselves. Sometimes we have to do it daily. Like, I have to, every morning I have to set the intention for how my day is going to be.
Hmm.
So that's the same thing we're going to do with this holiday plan. Do an emotional check-in. How you going to do that, Adrian? Okay, so you can do it by, even if you want to start off by writing some things down. You might even need a list. Writing things down. You might need to meditate. You might need to pray. Um, you might to do a quick body scan. That's always a good one, because sometimes we're so busy moving, 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 moving that we don't even realize we got things going on. Have you ever stopped and sat down and you feel like a little pain, maybe in your foot, your knee, whatever, and you say, dang, where that came from? It was hurting all day long. But until you sat down and actually able to check in, feel what's going on, only then will you realize, like, this has probably been hurting for, a lot of times we have
Hmm.
issues that have been lingering for weeks and what have you. And then all of a sudden you're like, where did that come from? It didn't just pop up. It's
Yeah.
been occurring,
Um,
but we just have to be more intentional about checking in with ourselves. Checking in, yeah. So just checking in. One major thing though is establishing boundaries. Oh, excuse me. It's
ooh,
establishing personal boundaries. Like, you gotta do it.
You went right on into my next question because I think
Okay.
when you talked about like buying stuff for kids and it being broken the next day or something not being available, one of the first things that comes to my mind is not so much that the kids are ungrateful, but I think sometimes we spread ourselves very thin for holidays for people that are ungrateful. They don't
Oh,
appreciate the fact
absolutely.
they don't appreciate
Absolutely.
the fact that I spent all of this money on this stuff. They don't appreciate the fact that I'm on vacation. Truthfully, this is
Right.
great for me, but I'm cooking a meal for you when I really didn't have to. How
Correct.
do you set up, how would you suggest setting up boundaries for stuff like that?
So I have these things that are called hard nose.
Mm,
A hard no is I'm just not gonna do it.
I got to work on that one. I struggle
A
with that.
hard no. A hard no. We'll talk about. You mentioned cooking, right? I remember when I used to cook all day Christmas Eve, half of Christmas morning. By the time everybody get ready to eat, I'm tired. I can't
Mhm.
enjoy myself. Then I got to clean up after they leave, right? But
Yes.
who asked me to cook all of that stuff? Nobody. And then I'm mad because I'm tired. I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy it. I want to enjoy Christmas too. So a hard no would be we only having one meat, one, you know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. A hard no is I'm not gonna do all of that. I'm not even gonna do it. We can order, cater a meal, and
I
all
just
of us
said
can enjoy
that.
it. A soft no is I'll do it, but somebody else can help and contribute. Or I'll do it, but I'm not going to do as much. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
But
that's a
we're
good
so
one.
quick to say, okay, sure, yes. We need to normalize saying no.
Okay, so of course you know my group is all women, all ladies in that group, but the live page, the fellas have learned how to sneak their way on in there. But I think that this is a girl thing for real. I know for me, I have a hard time saying no. I'm thinking it in my head. I want to say it, but I feel like I don't want to let somebody down. I'm like, oh, well, they asked. I want to do such and such
mm,
and such. I struggle with that. A lot of people struggle with that hard no, the way you say that.
hmm
Um,
Even the soft nose, they can't even do that one.
those are hard. They can be hard. Look, tips. Give us some suggestions, some tips for how how you basically learn to put your foot down. How do we just go ahead and execute those boundaries?
Okay, well, so I'll be 60 in about 2 or 3 weeks, okay? So
I love
time.
Adrian.
Let me tell you, I have learned over the years, just as you said earlier, people really don't appreciate what you do sometimes. I mean, and so you learn how to take care of yourself by just go ahead and practicing daily. Practicing daily. And then I say the main thing is being mindful, like mindfulness and being aware of your surroundings, being aware of who's plugging into you, who's pulling from you, who's draining from you. I always tell my clients, I said, your sockets are wide open. Remember when we had our children were little and you seen those little plugs that you put in the sockets in the wall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In order for them not to hurt themselves, we plug the sockets, right? You're protecting them.
Yeah.
So we have to learn to protect ourselves because we walk around with all of our sockets open and wonder why people plugging into us day in and day out. First of all, you got to plug your sockets and you got to protect yourself. That's number one. That's one tip. Okay. Second of all, mindful. Be mindful. If you know a certain person, because energies are real. If you know when you get around certain people, they're like, you feel drained, you feel like just something ain't right, excuse yourself.
Mm.
And if they really care about you, they will respect the fact that you need to step away or step off or not be involved. Um, and if they don't, then you didn't need them in your circle anyway.
Yes, someone in the comments just said we are overexposed.
Right,
We've stretched ourselves way too thin.
right. And we gotta protect ourselves, but because we have to be our own advocates. We got to. Nobody else is gonna do it.
Mm.
And when you, let me tell you something. I've heard. Have you ever heard people say, this is the phrase: if you don't use your time, somebody else will.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
and I find that to be true because have you ever somebody say you say I need somebody to just say I need somebody to fill in for me um at church Sunday because I got to go somewhere. So they say, well, I'm gonna ask sister so and so, and they say, oh, don't ask her because she ain't gonna do it. She gonna tell you no. So see,
Hmm.
she's already established the no rule. They ain't mad with it. They respect it, right?
Oh.
Right? They ain't even mad. They said, don't ask sister so and so. Then they said, well, ask sister Doris. And they say, well, she might do it if she's here. If she's here, she'll probably do it. And then they'll say, well, yeah, if she's here, because Miss Doris done learned, I ain't going all the time because I need a break. Then you got
Mm.
this person, they'll say, ask her, ask for Trey, because she ain't never gonna say no, girl. She gonna say
Yep.
yes. She ain't got no life. No life, honey. Ask her. She'll do it. If she wasn't even planning to come to church, she'll be there if you ask her. So be sister, the first sister.
That's
Don't even come to me with that. I love y'all, but I'm trying to get what I'm trying to get, and I'm not finna do that for you. Period.
mm. This is why I love Adrienne. Like
Look. And
this
what
is
did you say? Clock that
yeah.
bitch.
Adrienne is real deal Holyfield, baby. And ain't no other
All
way
the
to cover
time.
her.
All
Like
the time.
she is real deal. And
And
you know what?
anybody
You
that
are
knows me, anybody on this live, I've been the same person forever. You can put thumbs. I can't see the comments or anything like that, but they'll tell you. And I just keep it real because, you know, people are leaving here like in great numbers, like people that I didn't even expect to be gone. And we have got to start paying better attention to our physical, mental, emotional, all of that. We need to just balance all of that out because it only takes I mean, it only takes us a second to have a heart attack or a stroke at any age.
that's true.
So
That's
don't let
very
this
true.
holiday, we talking about holiday stress, but don't let stress, period, take you out. And pay attention to triggers because we have triggers also. We didn't even talk about that, but know your triggers. Know your triggers. If you feel yourself getting agitated or irritated or feeling not right in a situation, then remove yourself. It's okay. You don't have to sit there and take that.
Mm. You know what, Adrian? That's funny you said that. At Thanksgiving, I made a post in my group and I said just that. I was like, you have to choose yourself. If going to your family's Thanksgiving dinner is gonna upset you, somebody gonna be mean to you, somebody gonna be nasty to you, don't go.
Don't
Don't
go.
don't go.
Or drive yourself and then you can leave when you feel like
When
it.
you
That's a
feel like
soft
it.
no. That's a soft
And
no.
but when I made this post, I had somebody reach out to me and she was like, thank you so much for saying that because this was something I needed to hear. And it just let me
Right.
know that there's so many people that struggle with just that
Right.
concept. Like
Right.
it's low key. You feel some kind of way about not doing it, but you have to put yourself first in those situations like that in order to look, protect your mental health, protect your
Right.
physical across the board.
Right. It's all connected. Right.
Mm,
And it is okay to take care of you. And it's hard. I didn't learn this overnight. It took some time, but I got it. I got it now. And I'm in the heading towards, I'm like, ooh, 60, 70 ain't that far because time does not
all the
stop for
time.
anyone. But I'm like, I gotta preserve what's left.
Mm,
So mindfulness, intentional living, all of that. Pay attention. Pay attention to you. And I always say this too: if we love ourselves and give ourselves as much love as we give out to other people, then imagine what that would look like.
mm. Okay, now that you talk about the other people, you and I had a quick convo, and you brought up something about having a support system. I don't think you
Mhm.
necessarily having a good circle around you. And I'm gonna
Mhm.
be very transparent. I don't. I'm. I'm grown. I ain't gonna put the number out there. I'm grown. And I don't feel we ain't talking numbers tonight. We ain't talking numbers, but I don't necessarily feel like I have a support system. I don't. Now
Mm.
don't get me wrong. I have a handful of people that I might hit up if there's something going on,
Tap
but I
into.
I truthfully don't feel like I have a support system.
Wow.
What do you say to, because I don't think I'm the only person that feels this way. What do you say to people that feel like, you know what, I'm really out here by myself? Like,
Right. And you have to you know, it's funny you said that. I've been writing a book called Access Denied.
mm,
And it actually in the book it teaches us about circles. And it teaches us about you know, figuring out people that have access to us, how much access they have to us. Like, so it's all in circles, right?
mhm,
So you think about the people that are that are directly close to you, like the first layer,
mhm,
like that is your major support. And some people do not have that. So I believe everybody needs some type of support. Hence, that's I have a lot of clients that do not have anybody. So they opted out for a professional therapist, counselor, somebody that non-judgmental, that is gonna be non-biased, and they do feel like, you know, I might not have anybody but this person, but at least I can count on this person.
that makes
So
sense.
yeah. So but a trusted, just a trusted adult, um, it could be, you got to figure out, you got to figure out like who you can trust, who you feel safe with. And sometimes it's nobody, and that's okay too. And that's when you go to him, not them. Okay,
Mhm.
him, not them, and you know who him is.
Good question. Good. Look, that's a good
So
way to put that.
right, so you know sometimes that's all you have
I
is
t-
you got to go to the mount, and it's okay because you don't have to have people in your circle just to say you got somebody there, right? Because they need, you need to know why, who's in your circle, and why they're in your circle.
mm, mm.
Who's in my circle, and be honest with yourself. Like, why is this person connected to me?
That's a good one. That's a good one, especially with friendships. Why are you
Why?
here? Like, yeah.
And be real about it. Like, why do I have this person around? Because some people need to be demoted, and some people need to be ejected. Period. Really, I'm serious. Like, we need to do circle work every, how often you need to do it, but we definitely need to check our circles probably at least once a month, or at
Oh,
least once a quarter. I say that. But I don't have to check mine because I keep mine real tight. Tight.
how can I get in your circle?
Well, now this is the funny thing. What I tell, this is not directed to you, but let me tell you what I have my friends, because I have long term friends, like we've been friends forever. But I tell people, I said I ain't taking no new applications.
I was gonna apply. I was gonna see what I could do to get in there. I was
Well, you
trying to
know,
get
we
in there.
listen, we sorors, honey. So we got sisterhood on our side. So you always, you have access to me. Let me
I do.
just go ahead and tell you that.
I do. Look, I have to say it again. I thank God for you. I really do.
Yes, you have access, so you are not alone. So, you know, being that your support system kind of, you know, shaky, shabby, whatever, invitation to you, if you need your sister, I'm here.
Oh,
You
Adrian,
are
gonna
not
make me.
alone. That's
You're
what
gonna
sisterhood is all about.
you're gonna make me cry off the
Don't
good.
cry. And I'm
Cry
keeping it
off the
real
good.
too.
Off the good concealer. Oh gosh. Yo, we got a late start, but Adrian brought the gems here tonight. If y'all have questions, throw them in the comment section. She said that she can't see them, but I have access. I can see them, so I can definitely read them
I
for
don't
her.
see anything.
If If you have a question, drop it in there. But while we're waiting for you guys to do that, I want Adrian to tell us a little bit about her practice. She did introduce herself, and of course, in the beginning. But I want you tell us a little bit about your practice,
Okay.
and yeah.
So, the name of my practice is Greater Horizons Counseling Services, and you can find me on Psychology Today, and that's for anybody, anywhere. That's a good resource if you're looking for a counselor, somebody to talk to, groups, whatever. Go into psychologytoday.com, put in your area, like like where I am. I'm in Aiken, South Carolina. Wherever you are in the United States. I don't even know if they go beyond the United States, but anyway, like if you're in Brooklyn, New York, just put that in. It'll bring up all the therapists in that area. You can go through there, read their bios, their profiles, and see if anybody resonates with you that you feel like would be a good match for you. So you
Mhm.
can find me Greater Horizons Counseling Services.com. I currently am not doing a brick and mortar office because I am taking care of my mother.
Mhm.
So I do telehealth. I do telehealth sessions. And I work for Sondermind. Sondermind is a telehealth company. Well, actually you can do Sondermind is just an online company that hires licensed counselors to do therapy. So I can be found on there. I work with clients South Carolina and Georgia. You can go there and search therapists as well. On there I take a whole lot of insurances. So like they take some of everything. You just have to go and see if your insurance matches up. And there again, it's so many therapists. You have the option. You don't have to everybody. I'm not a match for everybody.
Mhm.
I'm just not. And most of the people on this live, I probably like know them anyway. So I don't suggest um, you know, I wouldn't want to do
Somebody you know.
provide services for someone because I want them to get everything and be able to speak freely and feel comfortable. They'd be like, "Oh gosh, all my business," which we're confidential, but still, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're
So,
saying.
I
Um,
just recommend go into these sites and find somebody that you feel like you may connect with and be a match. And don't feel bad if you meet somebody and do your initial intake session and you feel like y'all on a match, then you don't have to stay with that person.
do it.
That's another
So
thing. Like go somewhere else.
the resource that I referenced earlier that Adrian had for us, I'm going to post that PDF in the group. You have to be a member of the group to access it. I'm going to also post all of her business info, her practice, all of that good info because that went really really fast. So the resources and all of that will be posted in the group as soon as the live is done. Millie had a question. She says, "How do you deal with the holiday seasons when you are missing a loved one?" I think this is something that a lot of people deal with.
Yeah, and you got to it's okay to sit in it. Like don't avoid it. Just sit with it, sit in it. The best thing is to try and remember like good times. Like remember um we have to memories. I always say take a lot of pictures because at some point in time that's all we're gonna have. And try to remember good times. And if you need to cry, cry. If you need to go, whatever it is that you need to do to honor your loved one, to make you feel better. If it's if it's sit there and look through pictures, if it's call somebody that's connected to them. It's different ways. But I say try to think about the good times because we all have to leave here at some point. But when we make a lasting impression and make good connections, build relationships, we have that to fall back on.
Good answer. That
Yeah.
that's a good
Cause
question.
I miss my daddy. My
Mhm.
daddy. He died a few years ago. And I miss my daddy. And I used to buy him socks and underwear. That's what he wanted for Christmas all the time. So he knew he was gonna get the re-up.
Mhm.
But when I go in the store now, that's a trigger for me when I go over in that section and I go like Christmas time, I go to look for like, I gotta get daddy. And I'm like, he not even here.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, dang,
You know
he not
what?
even here.
That's funny you say that. My oldest daughter and I were having a conversation earlier this week. You know, the temperature dropped crazy, crazy earlier in the week. It was like 11 degrees here. And she said to me, she said, I don't even have a hat or a scarf. And I was like,
Mm,
how do you not have a hat or scarf? She said, I've never bought one as an adult because my grandmother's been gone for quite some time now. She was like,
mm,
Grandma used to get us a hat and scarf set every Christmas, and I haven't had
mhm.
one since she died. And I was like, oh my God. I,
Right,
it had never dawned on me
right,
that it hurt. I didn't let her know that but it
right.
that
But
bothered me.
little
It
things
just
like
did.
that, yeah.
Little things like that.
Like that's
Yes.
the whole trigger because it took her all the way back and
Mm-hmm.
opened up a whole lot of different memories and thoughts and but that's a good memory that she has. She can share and
Mm-hmm.
be like, my grandma bought me one. You might even want to say for Christmas, I'm gonna start the new tradition
I said
of
that. I said
yeah, and
that.
so
Yeah.
you start, because and I said that at another event I was at, like we can start new traditions,
Mm-hmm.
or we could share old traditions and be like, my mom, my grandma did this, so I want to carry on. And then, you laugh about it. And, she would put the scarf on like this, or she would always get the one that had the, ugly little whatever, but we wore it anyway,
Yeah.
and just, just sit with it and feel whatever you need to feel. And then once you're done with that, then you feel better. Cause you ever had to hold a cry? You be like, you be wanting to
Yep.
cry so bad. Oh God, you can't wait to get to somewhere where you can let it out.
Mm-hmm.
So let it go. You might not be able to let it go right there, but get to a place where you can release all those emotions, get yourself together, and keep it moving. Cause that's what we gotta do.
Yeah, we have somebody else. Like Gwen said in the comments, she lost her grandmother around Christmas and she's depressed this time of year. So you hear this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness, Adrian, we even with our lateness, we went past our 30. Thank
Oh
you
goodness,
so much
you are
for
so
joining
welcome.
me. We look, you don't know it yet, but we're gonna run it back. We're gonna do a round two.
All right. Well,
We're gonna
make
fix
sure
it.
you do that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I am gonna say this, ladies. Make sure I do the live combo every other Thursday. The next combo is scheduled for New Year's Day. We are planning a virtual vision board party. Invite your friends. It's going to be fun. I have a lot of things planned. I have a couple people that are going to pop in and just give us some words, some things to kind of start the new year off awesome sauce. I know that everybody had an amazing 2025, but 2026 is going
Yeah.
up. I
Right.
declare and decree it's going up for all of
Right.
us.
Right.
So be prepared for the next live. Just again, thank you so much, Adrian, for joining. I'm looking at the comments. She said she's
I
going to make something to keep her mother close to her. So based on your
Mhm.
recommendations.
Oh, so nice. Yes. And then just, just cherish the memories. Like that's because when that's all you have, that's,
Yes.
just be thankful for the time that you had. But I want to add something really, really quick.
Hmm.
I share a business with my sister friend. Her name is Denise Kelly. She's a grief counselor. And we have we do business together, but we do a series that's called She Ready. You probably saw it.
I
The
think
She Ready
so.
workshops.
Yes.
Okay, and we do it every other month. So I'll be posting that on your page because you let me post on that before. But we're doing an in-person vision board event next month. So I'll just put that information. But it's
Put it in the group. This is what
Healing
the group
Hearts
is.
Therapeutic Solutions. Follow that page, and I'll add that on there because I always drop gems every day. Just tips, mental health tips, and things that we have going on. But it's Healing Hearts Therapeutic Solutions. That's the business that Denise and I share
Have together.
together.
See, I did not know that. So make sure you add all of that information in the group. Add all of that in there so everybody has those resources. I'm sure that somebody would be able to use them. Ladies, also make sure you share the live. Y'all have homework every time we have a live. Follow the new Facebook page. Follow the YouTube channel.
Fill
Do
out your holiday care plan.
your holiday care.
Your personal holiday care
Your
plan
ho-
that
I'm
Trey
gonna
gonna
do
drop.
one. I'm gonna do one. Like you might get a random call from me in the middle of the day, like, "Hey, what I'm supposed to do?" Yeah, because that's how I be doing. That's the kind of stuff I. That's
That's
the kind of stuff
fine.
I be
I'll be
doing.
right here.
Girl, well, again, thank you so much for helping me tonight. Talking with me tonight, chatting with me tonight. We will do this
Yes.
again. We will do this again. All right, ladies, y'all have a good night. Like I said, head over to Facebook, like the page, follow the YouTube channel, and I am going to post all of the resources that Adrian has dropped for us tonight. I'm going to post all of those in the group. Sounds good?
Sounds good. All hearts and
Right.
minds clear. That's how they say it at church.
The benediction. I love it. I love it. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Good
All right.
night.
Bye.